This type of palm is not that common as Areca palm or the parlor palm that you see in every household or in the offices, but I love these palms. I do love Areca palms as well, but these are one of my favorite palms and they are called Kentia palms. You can bring them inside your house and they will give a very good look for your house or even in your offices or wherever you spend most of your time because of their beautiful green color on them. Let us today understand in this video how can we keep them happy so that they can keep us happy. Let's start. A lot of time people think that they should not get palm inside their house because it will grow too large and they will not be able to keep it for a longer time. But Kentia palm is not one of those palms. They do grow large, but if they are kept inside the house, they will not grow that large. So it is always suitable to keep it inside the house because it gives a beautiful, graceful look to your house. Howea fosteriana is the other name of this beautiful plant and it is a tropical plant. So whenever we hear that a plant is a tropical plant, the first thing that should come in our mind is the plant loves a lot of humidity. The plant loves warm and humid climate and not very cold and harsh or dry climate. So if we can give that suitable climate to this plant, then this plant will not die and it will grow like anything. So how can we give that climate to this plant? Let us first discuss about humidity. The easiest way to give humidity to your plant is to keep a lot of plants together because they get humidity from each other, because the water that evaporates from the soil that is inside the soil of the plants, it evaporates and it creates that humidity for each other. Also, water evaporates from the stem, from the leaves of the plant, every single organ of the plant, because of which a lot of humidity is created. That is why when you go to a place which has a lot of greenery, you feel humid. So you have to understand the natural process of creating humidity. I personally do not prefer using humidifier because if you have 200, 300 plants in your home, how many humidifiers can you actually buy? So the best thing is to keep plants in bulk that gives humidity. They will give humidity to each other. Also, if you're not able to do that because you are having less plants and they are far from each other, you can create a humidity tray. So what I will do is, if you can have a look, this is a tray. I will keep a few pebbles in this tray and then I will just put some water and then I'll put the pot on that pebble tray. Now I have to make sure when I put the pot on this tray, the pot and the water should not touch each other. The water should touch the pebble and the pot should also touch the pebble. If the pot is sitting in water, that's not good. The reason is because underneath the pot there are holes, and what happens is the roots of the plant, through capillary action, they will start sucking the water underneath the pot, and that's how the process of overwatering starts. So please make sure while creating this humidity tray, the pot and water should not touch each other. The second thing I want to discuss is warm climate. If it is very cold at your place, I would prefer keeping this plant inside the house, and if it is very hot at your place, again it is best to keep it inside so that it's not getting that dry air. So inside the house, these plants will do great, but if you want to plant it outside the house, you have to make sure that it is planted in a place where it is not receiving sunlight at all. It will love the bright indirect light, but if it is getting the direct sunlight on it, it will start burning and you will see that the leaves are turning brown in color. So you have to make sure that you give it the right amount of light. These plants are non-toxic for pets, for kids, for human beings, anyone. So it is safe to plant it inside the house as well. And the most common problem in palm or most of the plants is either yellowing of leaves or the leaves turning brown in color. I'll give you a very straightforward explanation over here. Yellowing of leaves has to do with overwatering, or if you have given a lot of fertilizer to your plant. So you have to identify that, did you give fertilizer to your plant recently and do you think that it was too much? If yes, that can be a reason. Or Touch the soil and see if you feel that the soil is very wet and the water is not able to come out of the pot, or even if it is coming out of the pot but still the soil is extremely wet. Overwatering is the reason your plant or the tips of the plant are turning yellow, especially the tips, because they are very delicate. They turn yellow very easily. You must have noticed in your palm that entire palm is looking good, but every single leaf, the tip is yellow in color or brown in color. Why does that happen? If it is yellow, it's overwatering. If it is brown in color, the reason can be it is getting a lot of light, more than what the plant needs, or it is underwatered. So this way it becomes very easy for you, and you can actually write it down. Yellowing is this, brown is this. Keep it somewhere. The moment you see that the plant has that color, have a look at the paper and you will identify the disease immediately. The next important thing that I would like to discuss about this plant is the correct soil, because a correct soil is the base for any plant to survive and to grow and to keep you happy, because if they grow, you will be very happy and that motivates you to get more plants in your life. So a correct soil will be definitely a well-drained soil. If it is in a pot, the pot should have a lot of holes. A well-drained soil means a normal potting mix. You can mix either sand in it or perlite, vermiculite, or pebbles or stones in it, in the soil, just so that there is a lot of aeration and the water just easily goes out of the pot. But I would also mix some organic compost because I want my plant to stay healthy. So the best time to give it organic compost is when you're actually potting it and when you've got it from nursery. But if you already have this plant and you have never given it organic compost, what you can do is just remove the top 1 inch of the soil or 1.5 inch of the soil, and you can just add organic compost and then just cover it with a little bit of potting mix. That should also be fine. But I would love to mix a little bit of coco peat, not a lot of coco peat. People sometimes overdo coco peat. Please don't do that, because then again it's extremely moist and then it starts rotting the roots up. Little bit of coco peat is fine. So if you look at your screen, you can see that you will see some coconut shells. That is actually the coco peat that I have mixed. And I love giving the palms a little bit of coco peat. Also ferns or other plants that love moist climate, any tropical plant, I would definitely mix a little bit of coco peat, and the roots will be kept warm and moist because of that coco peat. So you can always add that. Mixing this well and planting your plant in this would be a great idea. The next important thing is watering. We have to be very careful when we discuss watering or when we water our plants. When it comes to palms, I would definitely make sure that I'm putting my finger inside the soil. If I feel that at least the top 1 inch of the soil is dry, only then I will water the palm. There has to be a dry soil between two waterings, because if the soil is wet and you are watering it, you know what is the problem that will occur because of overwatering. The best thing is, if you are a newbie, if you are someone who is not very experienced, or even if you are someone who has a lot of experience but still the plants are dying, what you can do is, the best thing is to buy a moisture meter. Put your moisture meter inside the soil. If it is showing wet, definitely not to water. If it is showing moist but it is more towards the wet, please do not water. But if it is more towards the dry side, then you will be watering the plant. Also, once you have the plant in a pot, it is not a good idea to frequently repot the plant. Just imagine one thing, that let's say you have shifted to a new house, and now after few months, or let's say few days, I ask you to shift to another house. How would you feel, or would you be comfortable taking all your stuff and your life to another place every few days or months? The same way your plants feel. Repotting the plants every now and then and disturbing their roots, their ecosystem, is not a good idea. If I have planted a plant in a pot, I would at least try and make sure that that plant does not require repotting for another 1 year or maybe 2 years. And that would be a great thing, because plants love when they are not disturbed a lot, when they are not touched a lot. So that is one thing that I would definitely keep in mind. Next thing that I would like to discuss is fertilizing the plant. If you have mixed organic compost in the soil, at least for another 6 months, there is no need to fertilize your plant. But if you have not mixed, or even if you have mixed and you want to fertilize your plant to keep it healthy, palm in this case, please do not fertilize your plant in winter season or when it's autumn. You can fertilize your plant in summers and spring, but you have to make sure that you fertilize it in the evening time, and you just fertilize it a little bit, let's say once in a month. Please do not over fertilize, because over fertilizing is one of the common problems, and that will again lead to yellowing of leaves, or at least the yellowing of the tips of the leaves. The easiest way to fertilize your plant is using fish emulsion or seaweed fertilizer, which is my favorite because it's extremely easy to use, and I only use it in summers. Right now it's not required in Australia because it's winter. So what I will always do, in a can of water, what I'll do is the cap of the seaweed fertilizer bottle, I'll fill that cap half with the fertilizer, and I'll put it in like 1 to 2 liter of water can, and then I'll water my plant. But if the water has fertilizer, that water should go straight inside the soil and not on the leaves. That would be a great thing to do. The last tip that I would like to give you all is, which I am using a lot for my plants, especially palm and other tropical plants. If it rains at your place, please see if you can keep your plants in the rain and let them get the rainwater, because when they get the rainwater, not only they are getting nitrogen in abundance to produce a lot of green color on them, but also they are washed, they are clean, they get rid of smallest of the pests that can be on them, on their leaves, which you are even not able to see. So if your plants are clean, chances of getting spider mites attack, mealybugs attack will be very low. And if it's not raining at your place, the easiest thing to do is either spray and clean it with soapy water once in 15 days and then cleaning it with the clean water, or you can wipe it using cloth. It's up to you, whatever is easy for you, but keeping your plants clean will definitely avoid a lot of pest attack. I hope you did enjoy this video. This is one of my favorite plants because it has a very beautiful green color, as you can see on the screen, and it's very good to keep it inside the house. If you have a white wall, just keep it beside the white wall and it will give a very good look. And do get this plant if you get chance and keep it inside the house. More green your house is, more green plants your house has, it will have a lot of fresh oxygen to breathe. It will make it easier for you to breathe because there is a lot of humidity inside the house. And trust me, the level of depression, anxiety, anger will go down so much that you will feel the change in your life because of these plants. And get them, go green. Let us keep ourselves happy in this world of pandemic. God bless all of you. Do a lot of gardening if you can. And yeah, with that, I'll see you in the next video with another plant or another gardening tip. And bye for now.